Hello YouTube, welcome back. We're still playing the Parallel Worlds Fort. I haven't died yet, and we still haven't sorted that vampire out, so let's get straight into the action and give it a crack, shall we? We've built a little barracks for him up there in the top left. We don't have a door on it yet, because apparently doors take ages to make in this fortress. I do need a second mason to get it done. We've already lost one person to the thirsty boy, so hopefully we'll be able to deal with him quickly. I think what we need to do is also put a table and chair in that little room so he can have his build table. There we go. So he can have his office in there as well. Being the mayor, he's going to need something fairly decent, right? Here we go. Let's give him... Oh no, give him a weapon rack. There we go. And an armour stand. Bingo. What else do you want to give him? Probably wants a cabinet or something, doesn't he? We'll sort that out in a bit. Let's unpause the action and keep things ticking over. I do use King Poo Poo 2, just not commonly at the moment. It's just I haven't got it. I wanted to do another intro sequence with it, but it's too long for a proper intro sequence. It's like a 3-minute 20 song, and much as I like doing long intro videos and stuff in Blender, it's I don't know. It's a bit much to ask people to sit through right at the beginning of a session. It's a little bit much. Good song though. I do like it. It works well. We need to start doing more stockpiles, don't we? Because look, we've got a ton of stuff still sitting in the trade depot, in the depot du trade. Oh, hello. Game's saving. Haven't seen your green fireballs for a while. That's true. But I should put those in the face on the home screen. I was going to put that video in there instead of the static when my camera wasn't up. I just never got round to it yet. I might be able to do it after the stream, we'll see. Although realistically I should be composing a Reddit post to invite people to join the Parallel Worlds Fortress. But every time I go into doing that I sort of get paralysed and go, what do I say? I find I put too much thought into doing those kind of things, and I end up getting paralysed by being unable to do anything. Oh, look, we've got another floor. So we've got masons' workshops, we've got craftsdwarf workshops. I suppose we could move the carpenter downstairs, but I don't feel like that's a high priority right now. The carpenter can stay upstairs. Beyond a certain point, he's not going to be much use to us. That would be handy, Claycree. If anyone's got a good idea for a title and what information I should put in there, feel free, because the key is we want to encourage people to do it, but not too many. Because if, say, 10 or 20 people sign up, great, I'll be able to look through all those forts and all that kind of gubbins. If like 100 people sign up, then that's pretty much all of the beginning of the new year for me, just looking at other people's forts, which I'm gonna do. It seems a bit daunting, that's all. So we need to find a worded post to be successful, but not too successful, if you see what I mean. We want to keep it reasonably small. Although, you know, if we do it again, maybe we'll do it on a larger scale and actually have like some kind of competition, try and get someone in to judge the forts. That could be interesting, couldn't it? Or we could send an email to Krugsmash and say, would you please judge our fortresses? Tell us how good they are, or bad. You could see. I suppose Scoundrel is too eager to start the Cryptbeards sessions to wait for those 3 minutes. While the games such as Dark Souls or Stalker, he attempts to procrastinate as much as possible. Well, you see, in Dwarf Fortress, as I'm doing right now, the procrastination is kind of baked in mechanically to the game. You can sort of prat around for a long time and do bugger all, whereas games like Dark Souls, Sekiro, or Sekiro, however you pronounce it, and Stalker, there's a certain level of immediacy that is killed by the pause screen. Whereas Dwarf Fortress, it's not great paused, but it doesn't lose quite as much as other games do, I feel. Dear Redditors, I love you. Play my fort save. That's coming on a bit strong, I feel. Guys, go dig this hole. That could work. These are some dwarves and they're digging a hole, a pretty big hole, a pretty big hole. Although I don't want to get copyright struck by the Yogscast if I go too deep down that angle. I like watching their stuff. It would be embarrassing to have them take me to court. Although, you know, I don't think they would. They probably wouldn't notice. It took them long enough to recognise that Windrose cover of Diggy Hole. which was pretty good, I thought. Is the band called Windrose? I think it is. Close enough. If it's not the name, I apologise to members of that band. If it is the name, then I apologise not, for I was correct. So anyway, what are we putting on this floor? We've got masons and crafts dwarfs. We need something else. I thought it was Windrose. I thought so. We've got a mechanics workshop upstairs. That could be moved down here, but I feel like we want to put something else in here as well, not just a mechanics workshop. I'll put that down. Build workshop. Is it E? No, that's a leatherworks. What's a mechanics workshop? T? Yeah! I do get a little rush when I remember a keyboard shortcut from Dwarf Fortress. I shouldn't. I should be more reserved and more, you know, I should be prepared for the kind of looking through the menus, but it just gives me that little excitement. Oh, we haven't got a jeweller's workshop. That's probably good. We'll put the mechanic and the jeweller on this floor. There we go. Make it out of granite. And then if we put a stockpile, not a screw press, a stockpile for gems, we'll put that there and down to there. And then we'll go in there and finesse it a little bit to make it only uncut gems. Excuse me. The cold appears to be beginning its serious assault on me. Gems. Rough gems. No, we don't want rough glass. We don't want cut gems. We don't want cut glass. And we don't want cut stone. Just rough gems. There we go. And then we'll put another stockpile in here. Like this. It's probably way bigger than it needs to be. And that one can have cut gems. Gems. Whoa. Animals. Animals, my ass. Let's disable that. And then we go to gems. Enable. Rough gems forbid. Rough glass forbid. Cut gems perfectly allowed. Very cool. And then over here, a stockpile for mechanisms, which I believe is a furniture stockpile. So we go over here. Like that. And then we click on it. Let's change the settings. Furnitures. And then go in here and in fact we forbid all types, and then we can just go in here and find mechanisms. There it is. Activate that, and I think that's good. I think that should just be mechanisms. If I've done that wrong, feel free to let me know. Masons, mechanic, gem cutter. Let's have a look down here. What are we putting in next? What do we need next? We don't have metalsmiths forges, but they're going to be magma based, so they're going to be elsewhere in the fortress. We're not going to put them in the regular stack. Blah 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 blah. Siege workshop could be good, but they're pretty big. Might need a special floor for those. Got a still, got a farmer's workshop, got a kitchen. Wait, we don't have a still or a farmer's workshop? Question mark. Okay, we'll look into that then, see what's going on there. We don't want a fishery or an ashery, or do we want a soap maker's workshop? I mean, we're not ready for it yet. Let's put an ashery and a soap maker's workshop in there, and then that's basically the soap supply chain dealt with. So there's the ashery made out of granite blocks and tea wood barrels and citron wood buckets. And then the next one we want is the soap maker's workshop, like that. Made with an alder bucket and granite. There we go, good. Brilliant. So realistically, that's most of the fortress's workshop needs catered to. Maybe I should go back to the surface quickly and check to see... Or actually, let's go to the manager screen and see if we've got those doors made yet. No, not a single door. Well, I think the way to break that bottleneck is to go back to the surface and go into Dwarf Therapist and set another person to be a mason, I think. So if everybody could squint, please, if you're in a dark room. Protect your eyes, and I will take us to a mostly white screen. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! There we go. That's true. When I say a competition, I don't mean like a competition with a prize. I mean like just for glory. I mean like we'll find a panel of people to judge the fortresses, and then we'll just go, this is the top one, and you know, just give them a prize, which is congratulations, your fortress is best. You know, nothing crazy, nothing like a proper actual competition. Let's have a little look. We need a mason. Who's good for being a mason? Let's have a little look at the Is it other skill? It's rolls, isn't it? It's rolls. We want to see who would be the best mason in our fort. Everybody is 50% acceptable as a mason. So that's fine. We just find a peasant then, which we may not have any peasants, to be fair. Hello, is that a peasant? That's a craftsman. That's a ranger. This fortress has no peasants. We do, however, have a large number of farmers. That is a farmer, isn't it? Yeah. And none of them have particularly high skill, so this guy who's a farmer plant gatherer, no longer, you're retraining. Let's get rid of your butchery skill as well. You're going to be a mason? Mason. There we go. And we're also going to disable all of your little skills over here. Where is he? That one. That the one? Ah! Curse you, dwarf therapist, and your unpredictable scrollings. There we go. Getting rid of that bad boy. Bingo. Commit. 2 masons. What's going on here? Dwarf Fortress appears to have pinged to the edge of the screen. Let's go back and have a look. Now we've got our mason. Oh, hang on. Have I committed that? I have committed it. It's good. A caravan from where? Egraronol has arrived. Lovely. Well, in that case, let's get our balls on the table and start trading. Bong. I would like the trader, please. And I would also like you guys to bring up some trap components. There we go. Oh, look at this. 4 bins of spiked wooden balls. We are going to be tradie boys. Get in there, Panzerbeard, and we'll watch the gates to see if any of these bins are delivered. There's one. Any more? Oh, Erith Shameberdock, the liaison from the mountain homes. You know, I'm not interested, so if you wouldn't mind, just bugger off. No, I've got nothing I particularly want from you. Go away. Thank you. Yep. Oh, my favourite tune. I do love a bit of Simon Swirler. So they've arrived. I foolishly closed my eyes and now have no idea how many of those bins have been delivered. Let's see if a door's been made. Surely a door. No, no doors. Come on, we've got to lock the vampire up. We've got actual bedrooms. If he gets in the wrong rooms, we're going to be in big trouble. We do not want our vampire draining too many dwarves. They could train someone important. They could anyway. I'm not sure if they will. I never remove the lever job from dwarves. Okay. No, Claycree, there are specifically not prizes. In fact, we're not even judging people in this one. This is just to see what people have done. If anyone's interested in joining in, I think someone in the chat's got the links to the files, so they'll probably pop them in there in a minute. But if you're interested in joining in, just download the Embark and play it how you want to, do what you want with it. No rules. Cheat as much as you like. Use DF hack in any way you fancy. Just, do what you fancy. And at the end, if you want me to have a look at the fortress, send the files over. We'll figure out that when I do the Reddit post, and I'll have a look at it. It's all good. If you have done anything exotic though, like cheating and stuff like that, like maybe give me a little note, like a single page of note text, a TXT file will be fine. Nothing too crazy, but just to give us the overview, not the overall. Excuse me. Well, you're more than welcome to, NATO. You're more than welcome to. Honestly, I was supposed to post the Reddit thing much earlier. I was intending to have the whole thing wound up by Christmas, but I feel like it's probably going to go on into the new year at this rate, just because I'm taking so long to set it up. And my frame rate, although it's now down a quarter, is still pretty good. And I think there's a lot we can do to actually reclaim some of the frames. We haven't really set our pathing up. We haven't isolated dwarves in their work zones, so I feel like there's moves. Right, they must have brought everything in by now. Let's trade. Steel bars? I think so. Thank you very much. Nickel silver? Sure, why not? Billion, tin, aluminium, fine pewter. Do we want gems? I don't think we do. Let's just ignore those. We don't really care about blocks either. Don't care about raw glass. Shale Ook. Oh, hello. Up in there. Shale Ook. Let's have a look at that. No, don't buy it. Look at it. Let's have a look at chat first. I like to make up my own reality, so I'll just imagine there are prizes. Well, why not? Feel free. Give yourself a prize if that's what you're doing. Why not? The winner of the Parallel Worlds will win an Amakat Semag mug. Yes, good idea. Maybe we could get it sponsored by Tacoma Games. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Although I don't want to speak for Sergeant Indy on that regard. Let's not pressure him into that. I know he's running a gaming store, so I'm pretty sure he's operating on razor fine margins. So he's probably had to think twice before sending me the mug, to be honest. But still, Tacoma Games. Or, indeed, if the camera's mirrored, Amakat Semag. Oh, by the way, is your lava right up the top? Or is there a 2-level gap? There is a gap, but I think it's only 1 level. We'll check it in a minute. This is a well-crafted shale hook. The body is made from shale. The strings are made from pigtail. The bow is made from earthenware. The hook is a large stationary cloth-stringed instrument with a stone body. The instrument rests flat as the musician plays the 5 strings with a ceramic bow. Tuning is possible with adjustable bridges. The instrument has a nearly 4-octave range, going from an extremely low to a mid-low pitch. The instrument has an evolving, gentle timbre. Okay, so we're looking at evolving and gentle. Let's pause this quickly so I can attempt to at least approximate the sound of the hook. So we're looking at a string, instrument laying flat, stone, pigtail string, ceramic bow, and adjustable bridges to tune. So I'm imagining evolving and gentle. So, I'm imagining my arm is the bow. I mean, it's not the best piece of music, but what do you want? I'm improvising. I don't play any musical instruments. I haven't got a musical bone in my body, except for my whistling bone. Etc. Let's have a little look at the other instruments, if there are any. A bayberry wood merrier. Okay, let's put the music back on while we have a look at it. What's a merrier when it's at home? This is a bayberry wood merrier. The keyboard is made from bronze. The case is made from bayberry wood. The strings are made from steel. This object is adorned with hanging rings of well-crafted rhyolite and menaces with spikes of well-crafted donkey bone. The merrier is a large stationary wooden musical instrument which houses 69 metal strings. The musician uses a metal keyboard to select which of these strings are plucked. The instrument has a 7.5 octave range, going from an extremely low to an extremely high pitch. The musician cannot control the volume. The instrument has a wavering, gentle timbre. So we're looking at plucked strings, no volume control, and a wavering, gentle timbre. So a plucked string, I'm imagining like a ding, 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 ding. Maybe go a bit lower. Ding, ding, and it's got to be wavering, so no, I'm imagining a bow drawn one there. Why am I doing the soundtrack to Dances with Wolves? Okay, we'll try something different. Oh, I can't do volume without changing pitch. It's too difficult. Wavering and gentle strings. So I'm imagining it's only got 5 strings. Oh no, 69 strings. So definitely could have like a harp sound. Maybe not. That's a little bit too fast. We'll have to look at the merrier another time. Why is my phone going berserk? People sending me messages? Have I done something wrong on Twitch? Are people trying to warn me? Doesn't look like it. Everything looks fine. It must be my charging cable. It's my charging cable. It's not a problem. Let's have a little look at chat quickly. But what if Sergeant Indy decides to participate himself? Then, if his fort is a high-ranking one, we might have to really provide him with some kind of prize valuable enough to benefit the shop. Could do. We could kidnap a load of people to be customers and just force them to shop there. It seems a bit extreme. Even as I said it, I thought this doesn't sound like a plan that will work either legally or practically. This looks similar to a piano in construction, at least. Well, Ayland, I feel like it's more of a harpsichord, because they pluck the strings rather than hitting them. A piano hits the strings with hammers, whereas a harpsichord or what's the other sort of intermediate harpsichord piano thing? It's like a little box. Oh no, that uses hammers as well. That doesn't pluck. Is it Oh, it's not a hurdy-gurdy. That's the wow, 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 turning the wheel one. It's a something phone. I can't remember. Oh, Wishcraft for you too. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Whenever this game hits you over the head with one of those fantasy musical instruments, just imagine the sound of one of those alien instruments on Star Trek The Next Generation. So basically, whatever 90s synthesizer it was, they always used to make up the sound. That's a good idea. It's not a xylophone, that's that. No. A harmonium? Something monium? Is it harmonium? Sorry, I'm going to have to hit Google. Bear with me 1 second. Bear with me. I'll just go into a different tab. Harmonium. Yes, it's a harmonium. A harmonium, also called a melodeon, reed organ, or pump organ, is a keyboard instrument that is a lot like an organ. It makes sound by blowing air through reeds, which are tuned to different pitches to make musical notes. That's, of course, the Wikipedia entry, not Dwarf Fortress. And that, of course, is not the instrument. It's something from the piano family, though. Or is it from the harpsichord family? Melodica, Tempura. Jesus Christ, you type in piano and the also searched for options are pretty crazy on Google. Good. Oh my god. I don't know what it's called. Theremin Best Instrument. It's a contender. I quite like it. You know, I've started streams with some Ennio Morricone played on a theremin. Anyway, let's get the music started. We'll abandon trying to make the sound of this musical instrument and move on to others. The merrier is for another day. A grey gibbon bone oudib. Have we already seen an oudib? The name sounds familiar. This is a well-crafted grey gibbon bone oudib. The oudib is a large handheld percussion instrument. It consists of a bone triangle. The musician strikes the triangle. The instrument has a single middle pitch. The instrument has an evolving, mellow, reedy timbre. So it's kind of like it's a ting. That doesn't sound mellow. That's a bit harsh. So it's got to be dum. Actually, you can't hear that over Swerver, can you? Let's try again. Dum. I think the microphone picked that up, and I'm quite pleased with that one. That one seems, of all the instruments I have attempted to make the sound of, the one that is probably closest to fact. Good. So, an applewood tislam. What's an applewood tislam when it's at home? This is an applewood tislam. The keyboard is made from quartzite. The chest is made from applewood. The pipes are made from ilmenite. The bellows is made from hyena leather. The tislam is a large handheld wooden musical instrument which uses a leather bellows to pressurize air, ultimately blowing it through any of 234 stone pipes. The musician directs air through the chosen pipes by playing a stone keyboard. The instrument has flue pipes and both single reed and free reed pipes. The instrument has a 6-octave range going from a low to an extremely high pitch. It has 4 registers. The low register has a strong, bright, quavering timbre. So low, strong, bright, quavering timbre organ. So we're sort of going. I don't know how to do quavering. Whenever it's quavering, I'm like, ooh, and trying to add that to it, but it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't seem right. Low, strong and bright, quavering. How do you have something strong and quavering? Okay, so that's too flat. The middle register begins at a mid-low pitch and has an eerie pure timbre. The high register begins an eerie pure, mid-low. We've got a clear swirler out. How about this one? That's my attempt to see how that works. The high register begins at mid-high pitch and has an evolving, delicate mellow timbre. So, I'm maybe try a whistle for this one. No, it's not working for me. I don't do the high notes very well. The top register begins at high pitch and has a sonorous, rich timbre. can't whistle and... I can do it, but hang on. No, it's not working. It's not working. I tried. I went for the Lord of the Rings, but came short. I came up with something more akin to the Lord of the Rings, or the Lord of the Belt Buckles. Toy boats, toy hammers, toy axes, a pig in a cage, a cave pig in a cage, a duck in a cage, an alpaca in a cage, a couple of cages in a cage. Yes, it's all very exciting. Let's keep going down here. No exciting animals. Dwarven wine. I think we'll have that. Donkey's milk. No, thank you. We'll milk our own llamas. I haven't put the orders in for that. And we also need to make a still and a kitchen. I forgot about that. Dwarven syrup. Sure, why not? Honeybee venom. I mean... just having a barrel full of honeybee venom does seem like a bit of a status symbol. It's useless, but like the amount of labour that has gone into venom milking honeybees is incredible. I mean, you've got what? You get like a tweezer or something? Or like some kind of thin film? Maybe they put like a thin layer of like pig skin or some very thin animal skin over the top of a barrel, and then they just sort of like fling the bees arse first at it, so they sting, squirt their venom in, and then pull out. Although you'd have to pull all the bees off, wouldn't you? Or maybe not. Maybe you could carefully debarb the honeybee stings with a tiny file and a jeweler's loop, like, and then there we go. We've milked that bee. Milked that bee. It's an interesting conundrum. If anyone does know how to collect honeybee venom, I'd be very interested. I imagine it involves in the real world killing them and removing some form of gland. But hey, it's nice to imagine very labour-intensive versions. I've just realised Simon Swerver's gone. There we go, he's back. Beer barrel, yes please. We got some buckets. Do I want a steel battle axe? One of our guys can use axes, so you know what? Let's buy him one. Let's go for it. Iron spear? Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Do we want anything else? Copper warhammer? Not really. Steel pick? Not so much. We do want a mace if they've got one knocking around. Copper spear, copper battle axe, bronze pick, steel pick, training swords, wooden. Ugh. What do you think I am? Some kind of fucking elf? We'll buy the silver warhammer just because it's there. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. There we go. Seems accurate according to my imagination, scoundrel. Just need some Tuvan throat singing now. I do like to try that, but I'm not what you would call good at it. I'll give it a crack later on if anyone's still around. This one is basically a bagpipe. Oh, hang on. I was ignoring chat when we were going over all the instruments. Let's have a little look now. Hello, Static. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Handheld like an accordion. Which one was that? Was that the one with the 200-odd pipes? No, that was a ground-mounted one, wasn't it? Cross between an accordion and a bagpipes. Hello, Night Dagger. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us again. Ooh, dwarf stream indeed. It is. Let me just catch up with chat. How on earth would you manage to get ahead of evaporation while venom milking bees? I mean, you'd have to do multiple at a time. You'd have to have a barrel with like as many people around it as possible with a production line, like a little conveyor belt of bees. And maybe once you file, that other people on the production line are filing down the stingers so they don't get barbed and caught in the skin, so you can reuse a bee. And then you maybe put it like arse first into a blowpipe and just go like that onto the thing. I know. Okay, I'm going to admit to something very cruel that I did as a child, you know, I'm not proud of this, but it was something I did as a kid. So, but this is relevant-ish. I used to get catch wasps. Dangerous game, I know, but I put them arse first in my air rifle and shoot them at the side of my parents' caravan. I was never quite brave enough to shoot them at people, which was kind of like I was always thinking it. I was like, oh man, oh pow! But you know, it never worked. They actually work as air rifle ammunition, by the way, just in case you were wondering. Instead of the ball-headed Scotsman pellets. Don't do it. It's cruel, but you know, just so you know, it works. Where are we? I'm surprised you're not buying all the metals. I think I already picked them up, didn't I? I think I picked them up, yeah. Since I have participated in honey protection, says Ostap, I can confirm that unlike with wasps, bees do die when their sting is ejected, because wasps just inject the venom and don't sacrifice their body. As I understand it, bees can sting multiple times if the barb doesn't connect. Because the problem is it's barbed, it sticks in, and when they attempt to fly away, it rips their guts out attached to the stinger, which is the little sort of like blobby bit that's left out behind. And that's what kills them, as I understand it. I could be wrong. I don't have an apiary. I know next to nothing about bees other than that fact, and that's it. Oh, and the fact that they don't like varroa mites. They're very bad for them. The metal weapons and craft, I meant. Expensive goblinite, but needs must. There can be no ethical concerns when talking about wasps. They're evil and deserve to die. I'm not sure we could call them, strictly speaking, evil. I don't think they have any moral standing, really. But, you know, regardless. I must admit, that is minor compared to... I used to go to a live roleplay event in the UK called The Gathering. I went for like over a decade continuously. Not continuously, like to every main event in a decade at least. They used to have the bins out and they were swarming with wasps. And I used to go to the Asda and buy like a pair of Raid cans. I'd have them in holsters. And every time I went past the bins, I was like squirting Raid into them. And people were going, yeah! And I was like, well, you won't be doing that when you get lung cancer from breathing in all the spray, but whatever, yeah! Again, you know, I've got nothing against wasps, which, to be fair, does make it worse. Much worse. It makes me out to be... Well, it doesn't make me out to be. It actually makes me a borderline psychopath when it comes to wasps. But hey, never mind. Can't all be perfect. Great. Where was I going with that? Let's just scroll down this list and look at stuff, you know. Bronze left gauntlet. We could get a right gauntlet. Should we get a bronze right gauntlet to go with the one that got made, the legendary one? It's too much hassle. Let's keep going down. Yeah, no, I went to loads of Lorien Trust events. I went from about 1996 to about 2008, missing only one gathering. Did you go to the one where they did the massive explosion? I think it was like the 2000 one or something. They had the battlefield and then they had like an enormous pyrotechnic thing go off. Must have been a 50-foot column of flame up in the air. It was incredible. Great event. And the time, it was sad. Somebody who was part of the Drow camp. How does that work these days? I'm pretty sure it's harder to play Drow now. I don't think people will let that slide. But sadly, somebody from the Drow faction, the Tarantulas, they had died that year, and as a sort of memorial, their faction mates had all got together and built this fantastic Drow cavern set up that people could go into. It was amazing. And they had like a book of condolences and stuff to sign. I mean, that set the tone for the years to come, but I don't think they ever quite met that standard. Although I think that was so good because people really cared about it. They wanted to remember a friend kind of thing. Whereas the next years it was like, well, let's do a set piece, yay! Which is cool, but doesn't quite have the same passion behind it, I feel. If you put it that way, Scoundrel, then yes, the barb remaining attached to the bee was a special case in our domestic conditions. Yes. Also, some animals don't have skin that would catch the barb, I believe. Although, maybe I'm wrong. Like I say, I'm not a bee expert. Wishcraft for you too says, ha, don't worry, man. We're all a little psychopath when it comes to wasps. You meant the animal. Knew that. Yeah. No, I get where you are. Yes, I understand. And I think our opinions are, if not perfectly parallel, I mean, they're close together for a goodly time. And, you know, maybe they even cross over at some point. I don't know. But yeah, I can get behind that sentiment. NATO says, I never went personally, but I knew people who went. I was going to go to Maelstrom, but I never got on into larger games. I never went to Maelstrom. That was the big one. As I understood it, they took being in character a lot more seriously, and it was more for people who weren't just drinking heavily and mucking about with their mates. Because, for me, it was never about necessarily the live roleplay, because I did like weekly sessions and all sorts of different stuff around London where I kind of live. And that was just like the big one where you go and meet all your mates every year. And I was never too wedded to being in character all the time, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Great days. Once the kids are old enough, we're probably going to go again. So who knows? Maybe I'll put the invite out on the old Twitch chat and we can have a meet up in the beer tent. That would be cool. That would be very cool. What does the gear icon mean? Says Schmeliork. On the items in DF. Oh yes, that's a good. Those are quality indicators. I don't know exactly what they mean. Or do you mean these gear icons? That means that's the money symbol, basically. It's the money symbol. But these bits here suggest it's of a higher quality. Anyway, here we go. Empire PD's newer game is kid friendly. Well, I think the thing about the Gathering is that I've got mates who've been going for 20, 25 years. So if I do take my kids to a big event, it'll be that one because I'll know loads of people there, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't think I would take my kids to an event I've never been to before. I would want to enjoy myself, you know. Although that said, the thing that I'm really keen to do, I would love to run one, but I'm so bad at organising stuff. I need people to push me and make me do stuff. But I've always wanted to do a live Lovecraft type Cthulhu event. I would love to do that. I've got some great ideas for set pieces, and it's just finding a decent location and people who can afford to pay what it would cost to set up what I want to do, you know. But hey, we'll look into it one day. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I used to do a lot of the vampire roleplay, Camarilla stuff. I was big into that for about 15 years. Never went to any of the major international events, but I went to loads of UK events. We drove quite far for some of them as well. I remember spending very late nights sitting in the back of a car falling asleep on the way home. Good fun though. Absolutely fucking hammered at some of them as well. There was one that was run at a fort in Basildon, Basingstoke, somewhere around that sort of ends. And that was fantastic place. Absolutely fantastic. And just top notch. And they sold beer there as well, which was good. Let's keep going down. I remember reading the books, and it's always like, never drink when you're playing this game. And like, I was looking around me at the people at the event going, shit, if we told people they couldn't drink, nobody would come. I mean, what is this rule? This is madness. But yeah, it was good fun. Let's buy some sand. Quick lime, probably useful. A bit more quick lime up here as well. Dwarven sugar, that's fine. Let's go for some yellow sand. Let's go for some dwarven sugar. Give me some sugar, baby. Another sandbag. What else have we got down here? A bag of rock nuts. Why not? More sand. How long does it take me to do a bloody trade? I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? We've already bought cloth and leather last time, and I doubt we've used it, so we don't really need to spend any more on it. Although I don't have anything using it at the moment, so maybe I should introduce a leatherworks and a clothier's workshop. That might make sense. Yes. In fact, I will buy a couple more bins. One leather, one cloth, just to make sure we've got some stuff. I could buy bolts, but we haven't started with the ranged guys yet. I could buy some steel anvils. We've got the money. Let's do it. Buy the steel anvils. If worst case scenario, we can just melt them down. I would like 5 alpaca sweetbreads, please, and then all your giant rat meat, deer meat. What else have we got? Pike sweetbreads, prepared cougar spleen. My goodness. Plump helmets galore. Strawberries, pineapples, blackberries, red spinach leaves, bit of vetch, bit of melon, and then a bit of giant cave spider silk thread, just to top off the order. And then we'll keep coming down here. A wolverine leather backpack, schnicked. Beaver leather quiver. I'll make your beaver leather quiver. That's the worst. Beaver leather. What a. I'm a terrible, horrible pervert. Let's go down to the quivers, corkscrew, tapir cheese. Let's buy all the cheeses. Cheese is a good food. I like cheese. Lychee wood splints. Let's go for it. And some crutches. Why not? Oh, hang on. I just bought a keyboard accidentally. Let's not buy that. What else have we got? Tislam. Humble offering to observation. I'm probably guessing that's humble offering to observation, but let's find out. A humble offering to observation. This is a well-crafted tapir parchment scroll. It is encircled with bands of finely crafted moose antler. The rollers are made from rutile. Written on the item is a manual entitled A Humble Offering to Observation, authored by Thilu Shake Fragrance. It concerns methods of empirical observation in astronomy. The writing is throughout ornate and refined, and it contains sub-asides related to the author's preferences. Overall, the prose is masterful. I want it. We don't have a library yet, but I'm buying it anyway because I'm a fool with my money. We've got a large Gabbro pot, very boring. A Birchen Bogsosh keyboard. I can't wait till a Bogsosh turns up. I want to know what they sound like. A Darude. Oh, lovely. We can play Sandstorm on it. Pigtail Uckstrings, Petrified Wood Nest Box. Family in Theory. Interesting. What's this about? This is an armadillo parchment scroll. The rollers are made from claystone. This object menaces with spikes of basalt. Written on the item is an essay entitled Family in Theory, authored by Quico Vineshimmered. It concerns the value of family. The writing uses only artful words and phrases selected with care. Overall, the prose is masterful. Good, we'll buy this one too. This one's going in my library now. I've changed my tune since last trade. Now I'm absolutely mad for books. This is an Ilmenite, not Limonite, an Ilmenite-bound codex. The written portion consists of a 59-page manual entitled The Hidden Meaning of Wind Patterns, authored by Lalama Prairie Apex. It concerns the forces that govern wind patterns. The writing shows a hint of tenderness, yet is a bit stiff. Overall, the prose is not awful, but not very good either. Stiff tenderness. Oh yes, one of my favourite things. Let's, to offer. What am I talking about? Let's check out this one. This is a well-crafted Gabbro-bound codex. The written portion consists of a one-page manual entitled Useful Perception, authored by Nafola Brushleaps. It concerns the nature of perception. The writing is as vicious as can be. Overall, the prose is masterful. You can see! You can hear! You can taste, you twat! That's what it's like. That's what that book is like. Let's go for the vicious book. Let's look at this chert-bound codex. This is a finely crafted, chert-bound codex. The written portion consists of a one-page manual entitled Misconceptions About Maps and the Economy. Misconceptions About Maps and the Economy, authored by Omiver Embraced-Elben. It concerns the placement of economic information on maps. The writing indulges the author's every whim. Overall, the prose is masterful. Bingo, buying it. And then it's all parchment sheets from there on. Have I made any dangerous or obvious omissions? Does anybody want to say I should have bought something? Let's have a little look at this. Makes sense, yeah. My main game was the Aberystwyth University game, Aberdu Adventures. I know that's not pronounced like that because it's Welsh, but I gave it my best shot. Small uni game which was much more my speed. Yeah, I must admit, my early days of role-playing games in the 90s were almost exclusively a load of mates getting together around a friend's house, generating characters, talking about how those characters related to each other, and then not playing, and then next session, generating more characters for a different game. One of my favourite parts of role-playing games, in fact, is generating characters. I don't know why, it just really got me. You're right, Tidy, the food in Dwarf Fortress can be a bit disgusting, but some of it only sounds disgusting. You'll find that the organ meat's actually quite good. It's very healthy and tasty. Liver and onions. You know what governs wind patterns, says Claycree? The all-seeing eye of the Illuminati. Maybe. Usually, for me, it's eating beans and other such foodstuffs that governs my wind patterns, which are fairly constant, to be fair. I mean, this is a remarkable stream for the amount I haven't farted. In fact, I don't think I've guffed once throughout the entire thing. Normally I'm sitting here like a fucking steam train going... But hey, tonight it's been good. In fact, even though I've got this cold, I've not been coughing and spluttering that much, or even hiccuping. There's no way we're going to do the triple tonight. No way. These masterful books are as cheap as fuck. That's true. I'm trying to avoid the cliched phrase, says Ostap, time is money, but that trader is probably standing there convincing himself at this point, even if the dwarves of this fort buy out all my merchandise, they've kept me here for so long looking at my inventory that there's no way this deal will be worth it. That's true. We're trying to bring the prices down. We're going to crash their economy and just take all their stuff by just delaying. Oh, excuse me. Prepared fly brain. Oh, I didn't see that Tidy. I don't think I'd go for the prepared fly brain. Well, actually, that's not true. I'd give it a go. If someone offers me some food and I've seen them eat it, I'll be like, all right, I'll try it. You know, I'm never going to say absolutely no. I mean, I might be put off, but you know, I'd give it a crack. I'd like to try stuff. You know, I'll eat pretty much anything you offer me. I mean, even though I said before I wouldn't like to try snails because I have that sort of quite strong phobia for things without bones, I'd give them a go because it's crazy because I enjoy seafood like mussels and whelks and winkles and stuff like that. So they're basically the same thing, which is foolish of me. I just meant that as a reaction to Scoundrel's comment, how much more time could we take trading here? Oh, yes. Yes, not much more. Not much more. I have definitely spent quite a long time. Let's offer this trade up. There we go. Oh, whoa. Cancel. Let's offer up some items then. Let's get these balls, and these balls, and these balls. Here we go. Just get a load of balls up. There we go. He's making a grand profit. Let's offer it up. See what he says. Are you sure you want to trade the selected goods? Zon seems pleased with the trading. Excellent news. I'm very happy. Let's get rid of the trader and let's pull all of our boxes out of the depot. There we go. Brilliant. Now, no time has actually passed during that trading session, so I know none of the doors have been built, but we'll give it a few seconds. I'll count to 10 and then we'll check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go, that's good. And now we'll look at the orders and see if 2 doors have been made at least. So, build, door. Bang, bang. Good, we've got doors on. Now, we're going to turn this room into a barracks. There we go. B, barracks, yes. Assign bed. And we're going to assign it to the mayor. Oh, Dodoc, you came and you turned out to be a vampire. We will not auto-allocate it to the mayor. Somehow Dodoc has managed to be the captain of the guard as well. What a pain in the poo. God damn it, Dodoc. Okay, we're done. And now we can offer him up this for a throne room. There we go. Assign chair. There's Dodoc's throne room / office. We will not auto-allocate. And then do I... Oceanic ropes. There we go. And then this one. Make barracks. Enter. I probably made way too many barracks for him. But hey, he's going to be happy. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. There we go. Now, once those doors are in and the mayor puts his blood-sucking ass into his bed, we'll be able to lock him in. Hopefully. Oh, hello. There's a door. And another door? Another door, please? No, apparently not. Is there a door there? There is a door. Someone's put the door in. Good. Right, let's, while we're thinking about it, or at least while I'm thinking about it, let's place some weapon racks. There we go. Weapon rack. Oh, look, there's plenty. There we go. Way. Whoa, weapon racks. Oh, I love it. There we go, and there's one more to spare. Isn't that dandy? And now our military dwarves have a full barracks ready for them, so they can train at their leisure. Well, no, on my order, but whatever. Oh, they've made all the armour stands. Very pleasant. Very good. Let's look at the orders. Doors, tables, thrones, granite blocks, and rock weapon racks. Oh, there was already an order in for weapon racks, apparently. Sure. Okay. We do need some cabinets. So I'm going to say rock cabinet. Let's have 10 of them for offices. I would also like to... What was the other thing that came up when I typed in rock cab? Rock bookcase. Yes, let's do some bookcases. I'll have 5 of those for now, and then we'll be able to make ourselves a nice library. We'll leave it as is. Let it go. There's the mayor. He's in. He's in. He's in. He's in. Forbid passage. L. Boom. Forbidden. Pet passable. No. Keep tightly closed. Keep tightly closed. Brilliant. Fantastic. Okay, so now our mayor should be prevented from doing any blood sucking, which is nice, isn't it? It's good. Hopefully no one will let him out. Okay, let's have a look at chat again. I was about to say that snails aren't dissimilar to mussels or whelks. Yeah, no, then I know, it's just a psychological thing. I cannot get that close to slugs and snails without getting like cold sweats and goosebumps. I find them terrifying is the wrong word. They cause a gut level sort of feeling of sickness when I get near them. And the idea of touching octopuses and squids is But the thing about that is, octopuses and squids and cuttlefish, they all fascinate me through the medium of a screen. Fascinating creatures, love to learn about them. But if I were to actually come into contact with one, I would probably just... my brain would shut down. You know when you turned an old television off and it went boo down to a white dot? That's what would happen with me. I'd just boo, shut down, fall on the floor. I couldn't imagine how horrible that would be. Let's have a look at chat still. Ever considered building up a resistance to a poison over many years and then inviting your nemesis over for a lovely tapas? No, I don't have a nemesis. I'm lacking in that department. I should seek out a nemesis. You can't have nemesi, can you? A nemesis is is the one true enemy, isn't it? Just stick some polonium in a teapot. Well, that does work, but I feel like I'd be accused of working with the Russians. What do you plan on doing with that vampire? Elite shock trooper? Urist McLeaver puller? Well, we've had talk of him being a bookkeeper manager, because technically he doesn't need to leave his office to actually do the orders. But I do like the idea of an elite vampire trooper. I always try to do that, and it never quite works out how I'd want it to. I just want to get them up to a super skilled level. I've always wanted a squad of vampires with top tier candy armour and weapons coming out in the dire times of need and just hacking all of our enemies apart. But we have yet to actually achieve that in any real way. Not yet. Not yet, anyway. The imprisoned lever puller thing always reminds me of the opening of a Razorhead. Oh, I don't remember the opening of a Razorhead. I remember bits of it, like the lady in the radiator and the weird baby thing. I recently watched, even though I wasn't particularly interested in the TV show after having watched a few episodes, an analysis that purported to fully break down and explain the meaning behind Twin Peaks. And having watched it, I think it was a very good, like hypothesis, at the very least. But, you know, I'll try and find the link if people are interested. But he also talked a bit about a Razorhead. I have to admit, I'm not a Lynch fan. Of all of his films I've seen, I've only really liked Elephant Man. But, that said, I really liked Elephant Man. That is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Anthony Hopkins, top tier. Absolutely fantastic book. Film. Why not make everyone a vampire for laughs? It seems a bit fiddly. And it was done by Krugsmash fairly recently as well, but we could give it a go. I mean, it does mean you never have to worry about people dying of old age, but equally it does mean that anyone who turns up is immediately at risk of being drained. But crabs are fine, because they aren't squishy and weird in the bonelessness. Yes, that's right, Claycrew. I've got no problem with crabs, snakes, spiders. It's the soft bag of goo nature of cephalopods, gastropods, and other kind of creatures like that just... ugh. I'm not so bad with things like earthworms for some reason. I can just about bear to get near them, but I wouldn't want to pick one up. Even though I know they're utterly harmless. It just revolts me. It makes me feel sick. I don't think vampires can abuse their influence that way. It's less about positions of power and more about preventing them from killing off your dwarfs. That's true. That's true. It doesn't matter if they... as far as I understand the reason for... This is the context for that message. As far as I understand, the reason for prevention of vampire ambitiously taking over ruling positions is that they allow themselves to abuse their influence to suck the blood of their subjects. No, they're not that smart. They're not that smart. They try, I'm sure, but they're not that smart. It's just that they're natural mayors, as mayors tend to get elected on the merits of their social skills, and vampires have higher than usual social skills because of their long life and the fact that they constantly move around. Yeah, that's almost instantly they move in and become mayor. Schmeliork says, I'm a vampire, watch out. That's true, you are a vampire, but you're currently safely locked up and ready to start training. So we'll get your military schedule up, shall we? Let's do it. To be honest, vampires are a pain. They get very, 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 very slow if they don't feed. Ah, okay. Can we get them? I did try to set up a feeding mechanism whereby I could select peasants on a previous fortress. I had like a floodgate mechanism sort of set up where there's like an airlock. You could put a dwarf in there with a bed and then you could open it up to the vampire lair so that they would get fed on. But I don't remember it ever working necessarily. Why the fuck can I see Minecraft on my phone? I've accidentally gone and clicked on another channel. Okay. I've been watching the Yogscast for the past 20 minutes. Fine. I'm back on my channel now. Hooray! There we go. Look, it's you guys. It's you guys. Where is your guy on the map? Well, Schmelior, you're this little lad in red up here. This is your boy. Let's zoom in. There he is. That's him. Let me click on him. There we go. Dodoc the Mayor. Oh, wait. Did we not... Oh, of course. He's working under an alias. So although he's actually got your name as his true name, we can't see that in here because that's his I'm not a vampire name. That's his I'm the Mayor name. Ah. Dodoc Tomesplains, creator of female. Okay. Apparently he created the concept of women, which is intriguing. Wow. He must be fairly old. You have to get ahead of that idea. Let's have a little look down the chat again. I have pancakes in my eye sockets. How you doing, lads? Hello, Chris X88. We're doing pretty good. Pretty good. Pancakes in your eye sockets. I mean, how has that happened? Were you trying to flip one and it landed on your face? Or are they custom, tiny pancakes? Are they like pancake glasses? Is this some kind of costume? Or is this merely something that's happened inadvertently? I need to know more. Or was it just a little an amusing bon mot? Is that what you're doing there? Because I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Hello, phone chat, says Clay Cree. And view account +1 says Tidy. Yeah, it's all important. Got to watch your own stream. Get that extra +1 view. Mwah, lovely. Not that it makes a big difference down here in the shit tier scrub leagues of Twitch. But, you know, actually, to be honest, I get over 20 people fairly often watching now, so I think maybe I've graduated out of the shit tier scrub league, and now I'm in the what's one level up from shit tier. I'm in the mud tier, the stuff that's been processed by worms and is now suitable for growing things in, as opposed to fresh from the bowl. That's a weird way to put it. Very odd. A retracting drawbridge can be used to drop victims into a burrow. The victim is drafted and guards the bridge while someone else pulls the lever. Oh, druid's meat. That does seem like a more effective method. Method? That sounds like a very effective method. XD, says Ayland. Congratulations. A good giggle. Dude, that's like 5%, says Tidy. That's true, yes. No, wait, 5%. One extra view? Oh, I can't do that maths. It's too much for my little brain. Chris says, I like to talk rubbish in the first message. There you go. I mean, that's not quite... Rubbish, I would say, is something along the lines of... like... That's rubbish. Yours at least made, like, a grammatical sense. A grammatical sense? It at least made grammatical sense. It parsed as a sentence, so you could read it. So it's not rubbish. Don't be too hard on yourself. Urine tear. Although it just sounds like you're crying piss. Yeah, urine tears. Ooh, yuck. 20 out of 100, says Tidy. 5% of the way to 100. Yeah, you're right, actually. That's pretty good. Pretty good numbers. Yeah, you could have gotten the vamp locked up by just ordering his squad into the room. Oh, that's true. Maybe I'll not make it a barracks and I'll just make it his bed. Not that he needs a bed. I do want to get him training in there, so we might as well leave it as a barracks, right? Could be something out of Rick and Morty. What? That thing I typed. Possibly. I haven't seen the new episode of Rick and Morty yet. They're on episode 3 now, season 4. I'm gonna keep my peepers peeled for that. See if I can get my eyeballs on it. Fingers crossed. It's not going to be too difficult. Let's get out of here. Let's stop looking at the mayor because, frankly, we've been sitting here for ages. Oh shit! I clicked off the screen. Not optimal. There we go. And we'll unpause the game and let the traders leave. Oh man, I bet my coffee's gone totally cold. Yep. Decaf coffee gone cold. Not optimal. In fact, deeply suboptimal. Ostap says, I suppose I can understand Scoundrel's disgust with some invertebrate organisms. For example, I have somewhat of a phobia of seaweeds, especially since a seaside is polluted to the point where waves are green with amounts of algae carried to the surface. Beach is absolutely revolting. Oh, I tell you what does scare me more than jellyfish. Not jellyfish, squid. It's jellyfish. Jellyfish scare me more than anything. I've told this story before, but once I was on holiday in France with my parents as a kid, and there was a bridge going over a bay that sort of led out like into the sea, and there were so many jellyfish under the bridge that I couldn't walk across it. You could just see over the edge that they were just wall to wall, well, bell to bell in the sea, and I was like on my knees crawling across it with my eyes closed, even though they were like 10-20 feet below me, and there was no hope of any of them getting me, because as we all know, jellyfish can't jump. And if you know that jellyfish can in fact jump, keep your fucking mouth shut. Don't mention it, okay? Good. What about flattened seaweed, like around sushi? Now, I do like the seaweed food stuff. You know, when you get the fried seaweed in the Chinese takeaways. I don't even think that's actually seaweed that they give you in the UK, but it might be. And is it the seaweed around the nigiri rolls and stuff? I like that stuff. But I do find seaweed slightly unpleasant. It's less about the seaweed itself than what may be lurking, what invertebrate bastard may be lurking underneath. Reaching into a rock pool with the possibility of just gently bumping your fingers across an anemone. No. Not my kind of thing. Not my kind of thing. What if there's some of the jellyfish with the long tentacles and they can actually lift them up to the bridge? Well, fuck that bullshit. Fuck that bullshit fully and completely and utterly. Ugh. Jellyfish can go fuck themselves. Except they can't, because I think they reproduce asexually, so even that is going to roll off of them like water off a duck's back. Fuzzy Logic says, we had jellyfish on the beach back home. If there was a wind coming from the sea onto the shore, it would bring them, and I would not go near the water. I bet they stink when they're decomposing on the beach. Ugh. On a similar note, have you seen an octopus run? Yes, I have. Fascinating, but equally horrifying. I find it both impossible to look away from and repulsive at the same time. H.R. Giger used to wallow in rock pools as a child and allow the stuff to crawl over him. Later he designed the xenomorph. He was a bit of a weird one though, wasn't he? It's H.R. Giger, not known for being what you would call a straight down the middle average guy. He once made shoes out of bread, I believe. I think I got an art book of his from the library once, and I remember there was a picture of him wearing a pair of loaves of bread on his feet. Oh man, that if you haven't seen the documentary Jodorowsky's Dune, that's got some interesting Giga stuff in it. Well worth a watch. If only they'd made that film. I am quite excited for Denis Villeneuve's Dune. That could be really good. I've got my fingers crossed for it. I'm not getting my hopes up too high, but I'm definitely going to give it a look when it comes out, because they're saying all the right things. If they don't follow up on it, then oh well, but they're saying the right things. And, maybe a controversial opinion, I liked the new Blade Runner movie quite a lot as well. It looks gorgeous. Maybe a bit slow, a bit long, but I can put up with that. Oh, and that film I was going to watch, One Cut of the Dead. I saw it yesterday. Well worth a watch. Very good. Japanese zombie film with a twist. But you've got to watch it all. Otherwise, don't bail out if you think it's crap. Keep watching. Anyway, where were we? What time is it? It's 10 to 2 in the morning, and I have been streaming for an hour and a half. We may need to wind up the stream soon. Let's just check the viewer count, see if I can be tempted. The viewer count is going up, which is unbelievable, but we'll carry on for a bit then. Seeing as we're drawing some eyeballs, we may as well give it a little bit longer. We're paused, the vampire's locked away, the barracks is set up for our melee squad. Let's get that Clothier's Workshop and Leatherworks put down that I was intending to do. We already got stuff on this floor? Yes, we have. Build workshop? What's a leatherworker's workshop? It's an E, isn't it? E, there we go. Pop that in there. Very nice. And then we want a clothier's shop. Okay. There we go. Pop that in there. Bingo. Maybe I could put a loom in the room below. Yeah, I'll put a loom in there. Why not? Let's do it. Let's keep everything... Oh, actually, no, there's no bedroom for the weaver. Dream weaver, I can make you cloth from twine and yarn. let's put the loom down here. Oh, there we go. There's our sweet, sweet loom. And what else can we put in here? I could just leave it with the loom, couldn't I, for now? Oh yeah, we've got to do a farmer's workshop and a still. I can't believe we don't have a still. It's ridiculous. Oh yeah, look, someone must have smashed it up. Some prick must have gone wild in the kitchen. So we'll build a still. No, that's a well. WL, there we go. There's our still in there. Lovely. And then, of course, we need a farmer's workshop. Where are we going to put that? I'm going to put it in here where the alpacas will live. Seems sensible. And let's put it closer to the door, though. Let's not make the dwarf path for miles to get to it. There we go. Lovely. Okay, we're starting to get stuff made. It's all good. What's that wide square thing? A drawbridge on the surface. This thing here, that is a drawbridge. It is indeed. It should be able to seal us off from any unwanted incursions. Oh, the mayor needs a better office, does he? Well, the mayor can go suck some blood. How has he ended up being captain of the guard as well? I didn't set him up with that job, did I? Oh, maybe I did. Anyway, the mayor can piss off right now. He's fine. Let's put a door on the grazing zone. BD. Come on. Oh, it's my favourite song again. What biome do you have here? Well, if I remember rightly, we've got a grassy plain down the bottom with a river, and then I think the volcano basically fills up the biome that would be temperate forest. I think. I could be mad. When I see them decomposing on land, says Ostap, they're not that frightening, but as Scoundrel says, it's up to a certain extent the fear of the unknown, and on the other, the thought that if I were to approach the water, I would be surrounded by... Does anyone remember that Michael Crichton film about the ball under the water that had like some kind of psychic control over people? There's a scene in that where a load of jellyfish crack through someone's mask. Ugh, horrible. I think it was called The Orb or something. I can't remember. Alan says, nature is gross and inconvenient in general. I long for the time I can live in a perfectly climate-controlled space habitat with not a single green or living non-human thing in sight. Well, and that might be taking it a little bit further than I would like to go, but I can understand the desire for the control of your environment. And living in a space habitat is pretty cool. I mean, maybe not in the early days of it. It'll probably be quite unhealthy and dangerous, but eventually it'll be like, what's that TV series that I have yet to watch season 2 of, and it's now on season 4? The Expanse. The Expanse is really good, but for some reason, every time I go to watch season 2, I'm like, I'm going to watch something else. I don't know why. I really enjoyed the first season. Was he your first squad after the position became open? Oh, he might have been, Fuzzy. That might explain why. Ooh, maybe we should put the prison in the mayor's office, and then anyone who gets charged with a crime can get their blood sucked. I mean, that might not be in our best interests. We might lose good dwarves that way, but we'll see. Fuzzy, I suppose, sorry, says Ostap, it's a variation of the thought that there might be an organic being in your shoes, but I haven't been to the seaside for more than half a decade. I think now. So you could say that I am not actively reminded of my fear. I don't know. Vampires aren't made by biting, Schmeliork. It's blood in the water. If they drink the blood, and you get blood in the water supply, then yes, you will get vampires. But just biting, I think that almost 100% kills the dwarf who gets bitten. I could be wrong. Can they survive it? Better yet, upload my mind into a computer and live in a giant Matryoshka brain around some star. Well, if we live that long, that'll be great. I would love to live to that stage of human development, but I get the feeling I'm probably not going to last that long. You know? I'd love to, but let's be real here. Let's be real. So anyway, back to the game. Sorry, I got distracted by chat again. Let's put some beds in these rooms that haven't got any. We've only got 4. Maybe we can pop in some doors as well. Do we have more doors? We do have more doors. Here we go. How many have we got? Oh, fuck off. Why are we taking so long to make such a basic thing? We should be banging doors out by the hundreds. Disappointing. I have a shoe rack, says Fuzzy Logic, to keep my shoes off the ground. I live on the 4th floor in a country where these bugs are not even a problem. Well, I suppose once it's ingrained into you, if you live in a hot place where the bugs are big and can be dangerous, shoe discipline probably counts for a lot. Whereas when you live in the UK, and I don't think we have any lethally poisonous well, poisonous maybe, but no lethally venomous insects. And we only have 1 venomous snake, which I don't know if that's even lethal to an adult. You could probably kill a baby with a is it an adder? An adder, but maybe not a grown-up. Maybe I'm wrong though. It could be possible that it is totally poisonous, but they're absurdly rare. Just watch out for beast rot. It's deadly. Ooh, okay, I've never seen beast rot before. That's interesting. To keep my eyes peeled. My motto has always been, live forever or die trying. It's a good motto, Ayland. It's good. It's a backable sentiment, I would say. Do your best. I wish you all the best in your endeavours to live forevers. Of course, you know, I'm not expecting it to work, but, you know, good luck. Very good luck. The best of luck to you. Have we got more tables to place yet? Let's have a little look over here. Ah, chair there, table there. It's good. Yeah, loads of tables. Ha. Table heaven. Put these there, and presumably we'll have some chairs to go with it, because I think I've ordered exactly the same number of tables and chairs. Tables? Tables. Table. Tablet chair. You can tell I'm getting tired now. I'm just making random noises at times. You wait till I start going, meh, 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 meh. Oh, I did it there. Look, I did it. It started. Everybody get ready for the decline. By the time, when I start slurring my words because I'm tired, that's when the stream is going to end for sure. So listen out for it, people. Listen out for it. It is getting pretty late. 2 in the morning. I mean, we've streamed longer. We've streamed later. But not very commonly. Not very commonly at all. Man, I've got quite the sweat on. I need to take this sweatshirt off. Excuse me. I remember the DF meme where carps were more dangerous than goblin armies. That's right, the carp stands up. The carp stands up. This chat message is made by Transhumanism Gang. Oh, futuristic Yang Gang. When you mine really deep, you'll get strange beasts or demons. When you kill them, they get beast rot. When you kill one of those beasts, their blood speeds into their boots. Oh, I didn't know that. Intriguing. I know about the monsters, but I didn't know that they had a rot thing that was a problem. At the start, nothing will happen, but the doctors dealing with beast rot will start losing limbs. Oh my goodness. 3 AM for Chris. Well, I'm presuming you're like France or Belgium or the Netherlands or somewhere like that. I'm guessing that's where you are, not where you're from necessarily. The warriors will start losing feed. You'll have to start quarantine to stop the rot or lock away rotting dwarfs. Is it Forgotten Beasts? They do that as well. I didn't know that. Not cool. Not cool at all. Well, cool, but, you know, not cool when it happens to you. Okay, we've got our things set up. We can't put the alpacas, or the llamas, sorry, down into the storage zone yet because we're just not getting any moss. Is there anything I can do to encourage grass to grow? And we need to get rid of some of these animals as well. We're running at under 100 frames a second. 98 and 99. Oh, it went down to 96. Unacceptable. Let's slaughter some animals. Let's do it. You, pets and livestock. Do I press arrow key? I do. And let's have a look. Anything that's not a llama, but eats the grass, we will kill. So, we will butcher the yak calf. Or will we? Can I do it from here? I can't. No, it's Z, not you, isn't it? We go to animals. There we go. This is what we're looking for. I was on the wrong screen. Let's get rid of these horses. We don't need horses. Llamas. Cavy boar. Goodbye. Oh, it's a pet, of course it's a pet. Llamas, yak cow, reindeer ball. Named animals. Stop taking pets. Pork, yak calf, puppy, baby llama. It's actually not that many things. There's a few, but it's basically all llamas. Sorry, I know that's out of sync. It's going to cause people much harm and upset. I'll try to avoid whistling. Deadly dust or gas, which can cause randomized syndromes from Forgotten Beast. Syndromes can range from doing nothing of significance to getting everyone to rot alive. Yeesh. Yuck. Clowns from the circus are generated in the same way as Forgotten Beasts, so they can have that too. Also surface titans. Huh. Interesting. So all the big boys have a sort of post-mortal bad rottage. There we go. Horse has been slaughtered. We should probably put stockpiles in for those workshops that we built, shouldn't we? Let's have a little look down here. That's the mason's workshop. I'm guessing we'll put a furniture stockpile down here, because that's the lion's share of what gets made at a mason's workshop, right? Pardon me. There we go. Down another floor. No one's really using that. That's fine. What have we got down here? That's the soap making pipeline. This is the clothier's workshop. So what we're going to do is do a stockpile for... Oh. The Hillocks of Lashed Crescent has been founded nearly a day's travel to the southwest and looks to your thriving economy for its future prosperity. Fuck off. Not interested. Let's do a stockpile for leather or cloth. What's cloth? H. There we go. There's our cloth going in over here next to the clothier's workshop. Lovely. And then we'll do a leather stockpile over here to suck up all that sweet leather. There we go. Have we actually built that workshop yet? Yes, they have. I mean, what can we start making from leather? We could get some clothes on the go, I suppose. Maybe even some armour. Nah, when we get the magma forges up and running, it's going to be a bit redundant having leather armour, isn't it? Although you can wear it underneath the armour, can't you? I think. Well, they're not technically clowns. Clowns is the spoiler warning name version of what they are. If you break open the candy into the circus, you'll get attacked by clowns. But, you know, it's code talk. Code talk for spoilers. Where were we? Okay, going down. There's our loom. What do we use on a loom? It's thread, isn't it? Thread and stuff like that. We'll sort that out in a minute. And then we've got 4 floors with nothing in them yet, which can be used for some kind of industry. Oh, I think I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. We'll find some stuff to put in there. We've got a nice tight running ship. Next time I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll put any workshops we don't have, we'll pop some in on those floors, and we'll start actually assigning dwarves proper beds, proper offices, all that kind of stuff, and keep people where they work as best we can. I think that's probably our best option. And maybe make some fancy bedrooms for the nobles and that, and maybe go a little bit over the top. Go make some fancy pants stuff, you know, lots of engravings, that kind of gubbins. Excuse me. I think this cold is coming back with a vengeance, because I am sweating like a paedophile in a playground. It's absolutely unbearable. In fact, what I'm going to do is we're going to do a little pause. We'll have a little look over the fortress just to remind ourselves of what we've done this session, and then I'm going to end the session, I think. We've got a pasture set up for the llamas outside with a wall around it, which is nice. We have a trade depot, that was from last time. We've managed to set up the barracks fully, but we don't appear to have the full complement of soldiers training. We might need to check to see if we can add any more people. I think we've had a migration wave since the last one. Actually, before we finish, we'll look at Dwarf Therapist and check if any new migration waves have come in. And we'll also check to see if anybody in the chat wants a dwarf named after them. Ready for next time. We've got this area that's being abandoned. That's fine. It's mainly just a stockpile or two and a carpenter's workshop. This is our old mechanics workshop, which we should get rid of because, frankly, it's surplus to requirements. Get rid of that. let's go down. How far down? Bedrooms, cool, we've got all those with beds. Not doors yet, doors have been a bottleneck. The dining hall now exists, so let's quickly do that. Oh, tits. There's no freaking door there. Can we build a door? Yes, we can. Good. There it goes. That's the door. Have we got doors and everything? Yes. Okay, right. So now, this is a dining room. Yay! And they won't keep going to the wagon, hopefully, which I've just realised is still up there. Still in one piece. Probably still got shit on it. Let's assign it to a meeting hall. Very good. And we won't assign the table to anybody just yet. We'll let them get on with it. There we go. It's a basic dining hall. Not even smooth, but it's better than nothing, right? They've been doing without a dining hall for quite some time. Oh my god. It's usually animal type with unusual feature composed of material, some mundane thing it does, like undulates rhythmically. Beware its ability, i.e. deadly dust, deadly blood, poison stings, etc. That's the template for the Forgotten Beasts, I see. Tidy would love to have a game of chess sometimes. Yeah, I've not played chess in easily decades, not since I was a child. Then again, if a game such as Prison Architect exists, that does raise the question up to what an extent you can manage the prison in your fort here and whether all offenders are forced into the same facility. That's true. That's true. That's true. So yeah, our prison may not quite work as we hoped with the vampires in. We might need to be a little bit more careful. Dwarf Fortress chess. How does that work? I've never seen Dwarf Fortress chess. Intriguing. Anyway, we've had a look over there. Let's brace our eyeballs for the sweet, sweet bright lights of Dwarf Therapist. Are you ready? We're going to sign out. Boop. There we go. Over here. I won't save just yet. If anybody wants a dwarf named after them, now is the time to say so, because we're about to finish the stream. There are currently 16 nicknamed dwarves: Buttermut Squash, Druid's Mead, Fuzzy Logic, Guy Incognito, Shock Treatment, Cupo, Claycree, Corso, Macho, NATO, Panzerbeard, Perilous, Plutonium Jesus, Red Ruino, Schmelly Orc, and Tidy. We're all good. So if anyone else wants one, now is the time to say. And we'll just check to see our migration waves. Where's our most recent one? Let's have a little peek. Oh, it was the one with the vampire in. Oh, hang on. Let's read the dwarves and check to see. Oh, there has been another one. There's been a 10, but there's been several dwarf babies born since then. Anyone interested in the new migration wave? We've got a stone detailer. Other than that, very bland, low-level skills. Not interesting. How are they militarily? Hello. 391 humans killed. Well, even if they didn't have a thing saying they were a vampire there, I am pretty confident we would have figured that out quickly. My goodness. 391 humans. That is a lot of humans. But this is equally another person to go into our vampire squad. And they're a lasher, so if we can buy a fancy whip for them, this could end up being totes amazeballs, to use a very dead meme. Let's go to Mace Dwarf and... what's that? A Pikeman. Okay, so this isn't a terrible little squad. We've got one more for our vampire military squad and 2 more for the other squad. That's good. That's good. Oh, thank you, Tidy, for putting the link in there for Ayland. I do have a Google Drive that's got the whole thing zipped up with the Lazy Noob pack. If you want that, you can have it, but it's 800 meg. Thankfully, I think Tidy stripped out some of the stuff and made it a smaller file to get hold of. So, feel free. Just ask if you want the links. Also, if anyone wants to go to the Discord, we have a Cryptbeards room for discussing Dwarf Fortress, but it leaks like fuck. It's all over general as well. So, if you've got any questions or suggestions, or you want to show me something, feel free to go in there. You can pop picture links in and stuff. It's all good. Anyway, did anybody say they wanted a dwarf? I think everybody here who wanted one is either still alive or not good. Thank you very much, Ayland. It'd be lovely to hear what you've done with it. Very interesting. I don't know how long this one is going to last. I only play 2 times a week, so it could take a while. I do occasionally do off-schedule streams, but to be honest, if I do those, I'm probably not going to play Dwarf Fortress, because if I play the scheduled regular streams, it seems to do better for viewers. It just seems to work better. Excuse me. Oh, it was perilous. Oh, sorry, Tidy. Yes, it was perilous. You're quite right. And well done for standing up and letting everybody know. That's very good of you. Very good of you, sir. Very good. Right, let's go back to the main game and initiate the save. Here it comes. I am very tired. Let's save that. Oh, I've got to sleep on the sofa tonight. Because it's stream night, my son's claimed my bed. He wanted to have a sleepover with mummy, so now I can't have my bed. Boo. Boo. Ah, well, never mind. Alright, back to the home screen while that happens. Hey, we're back. So, I think that's about it. We should probably look for someone to raid, though, shouldn't we? Is anybody else playing Dwarf Fortress? Have we got any people we know playing Dwarf Fortress? That's our first call. If Cupo's playing, we'll hop in and raid him. Let me just scroll down a bit. Well, I've got 25 and Sayadade's got 1. Oh my god. Well, maybe we'll look and see if there's anyone I follow who's streaming. Oh, Blind is streaming, and he's doing a charity stream for Doctors Without Borders. He's playing RimWorld. I tell you what, he raided me the other day with over 100 people. It's only fair to go and give him a raid too. Let's do that. So /raid. Raid. Blind. Oh, actually, I need to capitalise it, don't I? It's a capital B. Blind. Is that capital IRL? No, it's a lowercase I, capital RL. Cool, let's all get ready. Anyway, for those of you interested in watching more of my streams, I stream regularly on Mondays and Thursday nights, UK time, usually sometime after 10 o'clock PM, sometimes significantly afterwards, but, you know, I have a trouble setting up a good schedule. If you want to check out the Discord, I'm available to chit-chat through most of the week. There is ongoing Dwarf Fortress discussion most of the time in there at the moment, so it's a big hot chat for that kind of thing. Thank you for the follow, Day in Grey Wolf. Thank you very much. And if I've mauled your name, I apologise, but I tried my best. I gave it a shot, but thank you for the follow nonetheless. No problem, Ayland, you're more than welcome. It's my hobby. I enjoy it. Anyway, 14 viewers are now ready to raid Blind, so it's probably time to head out. It's been a pleasure streaming for you. Hopefully our paths will cross again, and I'll see you down the line. Bye!